afternoon, classmates and Sir Lauren. I am Obermay Polo. I am going to report Article 10, the teacher and business. This is the part of the Lesson 4, the Code of Ethics for Professionals, and I will be focusing in discussing on the teachers and her involvement in business. Did you know that the salaries of teachers in the Philippines are still lower compared to other ASEAN member states? After EDSA 1, teachers' salaries considerably increased. Despite this significant salary increase, teachers tend to borrow or engage in business. Ang sweldo ng mga guro dito sa Pilipinas ay hindi kalakihan kumpara sa ibang bansa. Kaya maraming mga Filipino teachers na pumunta sa ibang bansa katulad ng Thailand upang doon nila pinagpatuloy ang kanilang teaching profession. But some of the teachers stay at the Philippines to improve their teaching profession here in our country. Teachers tend to borrow or engage some business to help their family. Section 1 of Article 10, the teacher and business. A teacher has the right to engage directly or indirectly in legitimate income generation, provided that it does not relate to or adversely affect his work as a teacher. Teachers are allowed to have legitimate income generation and have a right to have other incomes. What is the example of legitimate income generation? Like blogging, craft selling, live selling, food selling, copywriting, or a sari store. If you think that teachers are rich, you think wrong. Teachers also struggles financially like everyone else. That is why some of the teachers I know have legitimate income generation or businesses. But make sure that this business does not affect your mission and efficiency as a teacher. Do not forget our main mission is to teach the students. Some facts about public teachers' salaries. Public teachers' salaries is on average 72% higher in private schools. Average monthly salary of elementary and high school teachers are 19,600 peso in public schools, 11,400 peso in private schools. That is why some of teachers engage on business because of low salary, and teachers think that it is not enough to feed their families or her bodily needs and wants. Section 2 of Article 10, the teacher and business. A teacher shall maintain a good reputation with respect to the financial matters, such as in the settlement of his debts and loans, in arranging satisfactorily his private financial affairs. Teachers should live with dignity at all times and at all places and be a model for all. Also, teachers should live by the principles of self-respect and self-discipline as cited in the Code of Ethics. If you have a self-respect and self-discipline as a teacher or a normal employee, you will have no problem on indebtedness and unfavorable reputation. Did you know DepEd public school teachers' indebtedness? What could aggravate the situation of a DepEd teachers in terms of salary is indebtedness. The problem of teachers' debt has remained unresolved for decades. Generations of education secretaries have been working out various strategies in past administrations. Problem continues to fester and debts of teachers is mounting. DepEd is looking for measures to address this growing debt bump and its dangers. So teachers should be careful not to engage in enormous debts which beyond his or her capacity to pay. Teachers need to settle his or her debts on time. Teacher must differentiate between his her needs and wants. Number 1. The findings of the study on teachers borrowing as shared by DepEd Secretary Leonor Briones. The propensity of public teachers to borrow is 50% higher compared to other employees of the government such as police and nurses. So this is the problem of the teachers, public teachers before and until now. Public teachers borrow tendencies higher than the government employee like police and nurses. Propensity means mahilig mangutang ang mga public teachers kaysa government employee like the police and nurses. Number 2 of the findings of the study on teachers borrowing as shared by DepEd Secretary Leonor Briones. Aside from possibility of not receiving any pay when they retire, public teachers may also suffer sanctions from mere reprimand to revocation of license to teach due to their unpaid debts or loans. There are more 500 pending cases versus teachers filed by various lending institutions in past 3 years. Source: Merlinda Hernando Malipot, Why Public School Teachers Tend to Borrow, October 31, 2017, https://news.mb.com.ph. So, maraming posibilidad na hindi makatanggap ang isang guro ng anumang pay 1 sa kanilang pagre-retiro. Ang mga pampublikong guro ay maaari ding magdusa mula sa simpleng pagsaway hanggang sa pagbawi ng lisensya sa pagtuturo dahil sa kanilang hindi nababayarang utang o mga pautang sa isang institusyon. Dahil sabi nito, higit sa 500 na mga nakabimbing kaso laban sa mga guro na inihain ng iba't ibang institusyon ng pagpautang sa nakalipas ng 3 taon. Number 3 of the findings of the study on teachers borrowing as shared by DepEd Secretary Leonor Briones. Teachers owe 70 billion from legitimate leading institutions. The teachers still owe 70 billion pesos to legitimate institution. Ang ibig sabihin nito ay may utang pa ang mga guro na hindi nababayaran sa institutions.
Hello everyone, this is the Section 3 of Article 10, the teacher and the business. Section 3. No teacher shall act directly or indirectly as agent of or be financially interested in any commercial venture which furnish textbooks and other school commodities in the purchase and disposal of which he can exercise official influence, except only when his assignment is inherently related to such purchase and disposal, provided this will be in accordance with the existing regulations. So, the teachers must not engage business that in line to their job because, according to the Code of Ethics for a professional teacher, they should not use the class as a marketing place and accommodate students to buy their book that are related to the topic and should not make money out of it, or becoming an agent or by getting percentage from the selling books. It is only allowed when the superiors are given it as a part of their task and it's an institutional agreement and it's not for their own personal gain. Example, teachers selling books or other commodities but the money they earned was given to the charity they choose and not their own personal gain, so that's acceptable. But there are some teachers who sell something for their own and they are saying that we need to be more practical because their salary isn't big as other profession. Even though the teachers are one of the hardest jobs, many other professions still look them down. But as a teacher, we must choose our job over anything, even money. Because if you choose money over job, then you're doing it not for the passion you love, you're doing it because you got no choice. But there are a lot of teachers have business and it became success without forcing the students to buy. Because if they force them to buy, the parents will react and it only cause a big problem. So, we must be better if we run a business that are not going to affect their job because teachers must be a good role model to the students. Also, you're a professional teacher, not a professional business woman or man. Teachers are born to teach. They choose to teach and that's their responsibility as a teacher. And the true business of the teacher is when their students surpass them and successfully stable, and that's the only way to repay our teacher. And I always believe a great teacher is hard to find and impossible to forget. That's all.
Department Order 65 S 1990 Prohibition of Sale of Textbooks, Workbooks, School Supplies, Magazines, Leaflets, Newspaper, and other materials to students. So making profit of distribution books or textbooks, school supplies to captivate your audience. Your audience is your students. So it would be a major violation of ethics. Now we will talk about this other thing. To counter teachers' problems of indebtedness, cite proverbs in the mother tongue highly encouraged that can serve as reminders for professional teachers not to live beyond their means. I will explain and relate it to Article 10, the teachers and business. Hanggat makitid ang kumot, matutong mamaluktot. This is related to Section 2. Kailangan mong matutong magtipid at maging wise sa mga bagay-bagay katulad ng pera. Dahil ang pera ay madali lang mawala na parang bula. Next is spending is quick, earning is slow. Also, this is related to Section 1 and 2. If you have self-respect or self-discipline, kapag may respeto ka sa iyong sarili or may disiplina ka sa iyong sarili, malalaman mo ang iyong limitasyon sa kailangan o kinakailangan mo. Sabi nga nila, it's easy to spend some money, but it's not easy to make that money. Kaya kailangan nating may respeto sa ating sarili, may disiplina sa ating sarili. Before my discussion ends, I have quotes that I have found in the internet that related to my discussion today. By learning, you will teach. By teaching, you will learn. To every action in our lives, it's given that we are learning or teaching ourselves or others. When you're learning, you're teaching, and you share some common knowledge to the future generation. Then that knowledge will grow and more significant. So this quote is related to Article 10, wherein once you engage in the business, you can understand the things that you observe in the plan because you learned a lot. Thank you for listening to my discussion for today, and I hope you have a wonderful time. And once again, thank you very much.